Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Startup Spotlight, where we'll be having uncluded conversation, youth in action, while shedding light on the next generation of leaders and trailblazers. My name is Tedwana Sheki Sota, a businessman, investor, entrepreneur, and a trading mentor. Today we are joined by Matifadza, a lioness in the beauty industry. Please allow me to welcome Matifadza.
Hi. How are you?
Thank you very much, Matifadza, for agreeing to have this conversation with us and sharing your story. I'm sure we're going to have many people who are going to be inspired by your story and touch lives.
Thank you so much for having me. Nice to be here.
By the way, you look amazing. Who did your makeup?
Thank you. I did my own makeup.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, you heard it. She did her own makeup, and I'm sure you have lots to learn about what she does, who she is, and without any further ado, who is Matifadza Chirimanzi?
I would hate to start with what I do, but I believe that Matifadza Chirimanzi is a young woman who is navigating through life and a mom right now, and just someone who's living life trying to make sure that she stays within God's purpose. Amongst a lot of other things that I do, I am a beauty therapist, and that is what I'm known for. I am a massage therapist. I am also an assistant chef. So yes, that is Mattie, someone who is very innovative, creative, and just full of energy.
There you heard it, Matifadza, very creative and innovative, which means that's our first portal for innovation and creativity. Is a way to developing your own passion and your own business, your own venture. So, Matifadza, can you share a bit about your background and what led you to get into the beauty therapy industry?
Funny enough, when I got into the beauty industry, I had no intentions of making money about everything that I'm doing. I had no intentions of making makeup a business that would get me money. It was just strictly a passion that was yielded from insecurities that I had of my facial features. So I would find out I have small eyes, I had a lot of blemishes. So with time, I learned gradually through YouTube, trying to see how best can I hide those flaws and enhance my beautiful features. So before I knew it, I could do a full face beat. I did face beats for free, and my mom then discovered my passion, and she always says, study to show yourself approved. And that's something that was embedded in my brain. Literally, it was second nature. So she took me to school for it, and that's how I became a beauty therapist, and I went further to study to be a massage therapist as well. Yeah, I think for me, that is how it all started. And eventually, I remember doing makeup on this one lady, and she gave me $50, and she was like, there is no way I will let you just do makeup this good and not pay you. And I think for me, she didn't know what seed she was sowing in me, but it gave me so much motivation to realize that my passion actually had enough value to become something that would later on be my source of livelihood. So yeah, thank you for that.
Okay. So how important is it to first do a personal development before aiming for money? How important is it to business? So to say, there might be somebody who is out there asking themselves, if I'm going to get into a business, I'm going to get in there for money, especially if it's a passion-driven business. Most people, you notice that they start a business, 2-3 months down the line, they close because they are not getting an income. So how important is developing your skill first and then aiming to monetize your passion and your skill?
Well, mostly for me, I will be very honest with you. If you have a passion for something, go forth and try and study. Try and make sure that you are certified in some way or another. Whether it's a course that you went for 1 week, 2 weeks, that certification gives you even more credibility, even when you're dealing with clients, and when you're dealing with people, it also boosts your confidence to know that not only did I learn this by myself, but I have something to back me up. It's almost like walking into a room with a paper where you know exactly what's going to be asked, you know exactly what's going to happen, and you have a script. So that's how life is. When you study to show yourself approved, you also gain more respect in your industry, more weight is given to your name, and even just knowing that you have something to back you up. And then when it's passion driven, it also helps you understand that when there are days or seasons where it's dry, you won't really suffer because you know, this is my passion, and you go an extra mile as someone who's motivated only and purely by money. You know, it's very easy to tell that this person is motivated through money and this person is motivated through passion. Because even when you're tired, you keep moving, you keep going. You know, I'm still at a point where I study every day. You see my For You page, it's literally makeup, it's literally beauty, cooking. I'm mostly always just trying to learn and continuously build my creativity, see what others are doing, learn from other people's mistakes, you know, build my own brand through knowing and learning constantly. So if it's something that you're not that passionate about and it's just about money, you find out in dry seasons you won't survive because that has already demotivated you when you have money as your motivation. So I think for me that's something, do what you're passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, try and find a way to have what you're doing feed your passion. So let's say you have a 9 to 5, but you're purely interested in beauty. You could probably, you know, work through your 9 to 5, gain money from that, that will sustain your cost of living, and then feed into your passion. Maybe start content creation. These days I'm seeing so many creators on TikTok. You know, you find someone as a 9 to 5, then from 10 a.m. to 12 a.m., you're building content, they're editing, and with time you'll be able to leave what you're not passionate about because your own passion is now driving you to get where you want to be in life. So always feed your passion, be it learning, be it money, feed your passion, it will feed you back.
Okay, yeah. Definitely, you heard it. Feed your passion and then it will feed you back. Definitely, that's very true. So going back to what you said got into the beauty industry because it was something that was driven by your experience, your personal experiences, you feeling insecure. Now you are into the business. What is it that exactly that you enjoy the most about this business?
Oh, that's an easy one. Wow. My favorite part about my job is the feedback and also just how, for instance, with makeup, you you find someone would have come into a session feeling low, stressed, or even just wanting some sort of comfort and therapy. That's why I feel like they call it beauty therapy. Because when you come in, it builds that confidence in you. That when you step out, you're no longer the same person you were when you stepped in. And for me, that's just joy beyond anyone's comprehension. Especially when I'm doing brides and I have people come in for their day-to-day look. You find most of my clients now will come to me strictly just for the vibes because it's just an environment that we create in the studio where this place is where you come and you de-stress, relax, and just be yourself. I feel like that alone for me is one of the things that I've created an environment where I have my clients come by appointment so that when you're in this studio, it's like you're in your sister's bedroom, you know. You feel comfortable, you feel let loose, and that environment helps me to really fulfill my best without being rushed. And it enhances my room, you know, my energy for continuing in my business. And yeah, that's the best part. That's the best part.
So, say started just doing it for yourself, and then you went on to doing other people for free, was to develop your own skill. So there's somebody who has actually been doing that for free. How then do you know that I am at a point where I'm supposed to monetize my passion, I'm supposed to monetize my business that I've been building, my skill that I've been building all along?
Okay, so So I will tell you something. When I first started, I would charge $8 for makeup, and I would hire a makeup kit that I would literally pay someone $5 a day to use their makeup kit. And you'll find sometimes I have one person that I'm doing and two people that I'm doing, and that's $8 each. Then you factor in things like transport. At the time, it was like $1 into town, $1 out of town. What you need to do is mostly, especially now more than ever, push your brand, be active on social media. That airtime that you're doing, even if you do makeup on your mom, your aunties, for instance, when you start within your circle, eventually you build enough confidence to deal with people that are even willing to pay you money. Because one thing I always say is, what you're doing necessarily may not exactly be equivalent to what you're charging, but it's the experience that is something that's priceless. Because with experience, you get more knowledge that you probably pay someone else to tell you or to show you, and experience is the best teacher. I mean, I learned so much in terms of managing and even just speaking to clients through dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, you know. And when someone gets something done for you, they're more likely to be honest with you, and eventually you build the confidence. Because sometimes when someone gets something for free, they have really low expectations of what they're going to receive, and then you wow them, and they're like, "Wow, you're actually worth some money, some coins, you know." And eventually, because of that, then obviously knowing how much you're putting in and calculating and everything, you eventually build enough confidence to then see, okay, this is now worth something. I mean, when I started, $8 was even high. I used to do $5. Eventually, when I had my own kit, the $8 is just enough for me to pay for the kit that I had hired for a day. And small beginnings are literally the foundation that helps you grow. Because if you want to start big, you may fall quickly. So always start small in order for you to build that confidence, that momentum, that experience that will help you, that when you even get to the top, you won't easily be knocked down. You don't want a situation where you don't have client experience, you get to a point where you're now high, you're now well known, and then you have an altercation with a client that will bring you down or blacklist you completely. Why? Because you didn't have that experience from the beginning on how to deal with people. Because I will tell you this for free, there are a lot of things that I appreciate going through and failing along the way that have helped me stay to where I am right now. Because when you get higher, it's quite easy for you to be brought down or to fall. Even by your own intention, by your own actions, you can do it by yourself. So I feel like starting small is the best way to do that. Absolutely. Wouldn't change a thing.
Definitely. And it starts small, most steps the big thing. It's the small things that matter, that compound begin build bigger things, as they say. Rome wasn't built in a single day. Taking you back to what you were saying, you said you are learning from experience, and there are certain things that somebody you would have paid would not actually be able to tell you, because as they say, the rich people don't want other people to know what they know. So, how important has been mentorship? How important is mentorship, rather, to the young growing entrepreneur? You're saying, maybe I've had my experience, I've done this, I've developed my skill, but then I need guidance. There are certain nuggets that I don't have yet that needs guidance. So, how important is mentorship, and how important was mentorship?
Well, for me, I really strongly believe in mentorship. Even up to now, I have mentors for different aspects of my life. When you have someone that you're accountable to, you're less likely to make mistakes, because accountability builds discipline. You know, for instance, when you also like for business instance, if you have a partner, you cannot just wake up one day and close shop. or you cannot just wake up one day and decide that all the profit that you have made, you want to buy a new car. Certain things are consulted about, and all that helps build your courage and even how to make proper decisions, You can't just wake up one day and they say when you're dealing with life, you need to know that you're not alone. And for me, I would say mentorship has helped me stay accountable, stay grounded in my values. Because when you go through, even just to motivate you when you're going through a dry season or a season when you're low, I have a mentor for business, I have a mentor for finance, I have a mentor for my spiritual well-being.
Investing with us is the best investment in your future for you and your loved ones.
Offer yourself out to be an apprentice. Be someone who's willing to sweep, clean. It can start by shoe shining. You can even start by cleaning someone's car. Start from humble beginnings. You may find out that even someone you want to mentor you can, for example, you can want someone who doesn't have a car to mentor you, but you have the latest Mac or you have the latest DM. There's certain things that you need to humble yourself down to understand that there is something that person knows that you don't, that you want to gain. So when you know that, you then learn to humble yourself. I know this lady that really motivated me to get into doing makeup seriously. She's also a makeup artist, owns a lot of studios, is an amazing woman. She literally didn't know that when I was sweeping her studio, I was literally getting motivated out, pick up certain ways, certain traits, certain even how to maneuver in certain areas. And those things, like I said, you pick up certain things by just watching and being, attentive. Some things are caught, not taught. So when you understand that, sometimes you necessarily don't have to attack by just, you'll be so shocked. I mean, my mentor for finance, she came to me. Why? Because I put myself in a position where I made myself seen. I was constantly in her space. If she's speaking at an event, I'm there. If she's in need of something, I'm there. If she needs water or to assess the situation that she's going to her car, I'm there. I'm opening the door. I'm making sure I'm holding her handbag, Those certain things to someone else is like, don't kiss up. But then you know what? She liked me enough to then say, young lady, I want to mentor you. And being in her presence has even opened me up to meeting greater women who want also to mentor me, Why? Because I've understood that when you are dealing with people in life, make sure that you know that you have to be humble to get to where you want to be. Every single person has something to teach you if you're ready to learn. Every single person. So once you understand that you can never be high or too high to understand or to learn from someone else, you literally then realize, wow, you have the greatest power. Because keeping quiet and listening is so powerful as compared to being the one who always has something to say. Yeah, I think for me that's the greatest power. If you want someone to mentor you, shadow them, be an apprentice. You literally get it easier than speaking your vision straight up.
Definitely. You have had it. Self-first, self, and be humble enough to submit to somebody great.
Yeah.
Always surround yourself with greatness. So you said you were doing it for free, and then another lady said, I can't have you doing this for free for me. But let's say there's somebody out there that have been doing their business, pursuing their passion in entrepreneurship, in business, and there is this amazing lady who comes, this amazing gentleman who comes and says, I'm going to sponsor you. How then do you get the finance to help support your vision, grow your vision, to realize your business? What is it exactly do you do?
Okay. So I gave an example earlier of having your 9 to 5 feed your dream. I completely believe that people can, like right now, for instance, I may be known as a beauty therapist, but I have many other businesses that I do that support me. But all those businesses support my dream. You get me? So if you get into a situation where you understand that this is my passion, give a random example. I want to start a car wash, right? But I have a 9 to 5 that requires me to be at work. What you now do is don't get into debt to do something that you're not certain will flourish. I always say, let something, or if it means you open up a tuck shop, that is less risky. You'd rather have the tuck shop feed the dream for the car wash, have multiple streams of income, knowing that what I'm doing right now is not where I want to be, but it's feeding me, it's leading me, it's driving me to where I want to go, So that is the best way you can ever do your navigating of passion-driven, business. I also would like to add on that when you're doing something that you're passionate about, you need to understand that God's timing is best. Where you currently are, there's something you're learning. There's a position that God is placing you in so that you can be able to run your own thing. I always say, if you want to start a business, start by working for someone who's within the business you want to start. Because you'll find out it's not necessarily stealing secrets, but it's knowing that what you have in mind, you can always think that a business plan is enough, but you'd be shocked that when you actually have it done practically, you're like, I don't think I was actually set up for this. I remember I wanted to be a neurosurgeon, and I loved the brain so much. I was like, I just want to, get in there. Until I got into a car crash, and most tragic story that made me realize I am very icky when it comes to blood. I cannot handle. I fainted, and I literally went numb. And I was like, okay, so maybe this is not for me. So you see, now I would have gone all the way to university and studied, and then realize when we're now opening bodies and all that, I cannot, So you always have to try and put yourself in the practical situation. Start washing cars, start seeing, okay, is this practical for me? Do research on machinery that's needed for car washes. These days I see people, they use these sprays. Some have automated car washes where you don't even need people. You just need one person who's activating the machine. Get to understand your business more before you start. And by doing that, you have probably worked for someone. Maybe if you have a 9 to 5 on Saturdays or on Sundays when you're free, go to those people, work part-time. And this helps you understand that instead of getting a loan or paying interest or even putting a house on collateral, you would have understood the business even more and had something else feed it so that you avoid certain things like debt that will draw you back. And like I said, experience is the best teacher, so this is something I've learned from experience. Debt is one thing that will eat you up. Kind of integrity. It will eat you up. If you don't have integrity, you'll just be one of those people that switches off their phone. So, you don't want to get into debt starting something that you're passionate about. You'd rather get something small into the big thing. Yeah, I think that would be my best advice for that.
That's amazing. Get something small to feed the dream. So, let's say I have something small that is feeding my dream. You realize there comes a point where you know you have outgrown your shoes are the business is demanding from you to actually expand it. How then do you go about, let's say, probably you have had people who are saying, your idea might be a brilliant idea, I'm willing to partner with. How then do you select your partners, your investors, and how do you manage those?
I think for me, personally, it all boils down to character. Character and having someone who understands your vision. I always say, be careful who you tell your vision to, because sometimes people have the capacity to finance or to do what you want to do, and you would have shared. Some people have the idea, with no funds. Some people have the funds with no idea. So, like for me, for instance, if I get into business with someone, I love drafting contracts. I'll draft a contract for even something super silly. You can even say, Mattie, I want to start selling scrunchies with you, and I want 10% of every scrunchie that you sell. Let's say we're selling these scrunchies at $1. Something as simple as that has to be written. Never take the smallest detail for granted. They always say read the finer print, and that's something that I will opt everyone to do, because when it comes to business, always anticipate growth. Always anticipate your business to become something major. Never look at the small beginnings as your end goal. Because remember, I'm one person that really dwells in the Word of God as something that gives me principle and helps me navigate through my business life. It even says it in the Bible, as clear as day, that He will bless us in abundance. So being in that abundance, you need to understand that where you are is not where you're going to be forever. So knowing that, always have something written down, something signed. Have your lawyer, have someone else's lawyer. Get together and understand what you're signing, understand what you're getting into, because you never want a situation where your idea becomes something that is crushed or hurts you in the future. When you see someone else starting that car, exactly the way you want your vision to the T, to even how the driveway looks, because you didn't write it down.
There you have it, guys. I couldn't have said it more on my own. It takes two great minds to bring out something magnificent. Also, my story can inspire you, as well as your story can inspire me. But at the same time, having somebody different will actually give you a different perspective of how you can do things. And allow me to thank Mattie for being here and gracing us with the wisdom that she has actually learned throughout her days in business, in entrepreneurship, as somebody who is still growing and who has a bigger vision of getting to better heights. So, Mattie, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for raising to the call to inspire the world.
I'm very honored, guys.
Very much. So there you have it, guys. If you would like to hear again from Mattie, do subscribe, like, and share this podcast with your friends. Probably next time it's going to be you in this show, sitting right where she is,
right here,
narrating your story of how you did great, and also acknowledging that, do you remember that day when Mattie came? I learned this and that, and that is exactly what has helped me get to where I am present. Thank you very much, guys.